Have you thought about trying a GLP-1? Today, I have the most inspiring guest. She has been on a GLP-1 for quite a while, and she has lost over 100 pounds. She is so inspiring and super fun. So I'm looking forward today to introducing you to our special shipmate, Michele Frank. I'm just going to pop her on. There we go. Hi, Michele.
Hey Gina, hey Jeff, how are you?
Great. Which GLP-1 are you taking, Michelle?
I'm on Zepbound.
On
On the
Zepbound.
12.5 Zepbound.
Okay. And how long have you been taking Zepbound?
I just hit a year. December 27th was 1 year that I was on it, that I've been on it.
Only a year? How much weight have you lost so far, Michelle?
As of today, 123.5. So, yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah,
In 1 year's time, over
yeah.
120 pounds. Wow, that is amazing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have my 2-year anniversary taking Manjaro on January 10th, and I am down 50 pounds.
Different circumstances. You're on
It's not a race.
It's
Manjaro.
not a race. No, no. But that is really exciting. That is a lot of weight loss, Michelle. That is fantastic. Can you share with us a little bit
Thank
about
you. It's
yourself
it's
and
been
your
definitely a wonderful journey.
yeah, and a little bit about your journey? And can we show the picture, Jeff, of our thumbnail? It's actually both pictures there is Michelle,
Or
our Michelle. It's really neat. It's like she's giving her old self a hug.
uh,
Yeah, thanks to Dennis. So I appreciate you, Dennis, for putting that together for me. But that was August of 2024. The picture in the shirt, in the orange shirt, when I was on a cruise for my mom's birthday. And
Oh,
then the other one was more recently.
wow. And just 1 year's time. That is
Yeah.
amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey, some of the things that you've done while taking the medication that you think have helped you to lose 120 pounds in a year?
Yep, absolutely. So this is my first time taking any medication for weight loss, although not my first time trying to lose weight. Like many, many people, I've battled the weight issue all my life. However, I would do things like Weight Watchers and I would lose a lot of weight, but I couldn't keep it off. I always say the difference between this and the other times is the other times I was figuring out how to manipulate food rather than
Mhm.
learn from it. So, like when I was on Weight Watchers, it was how many 0 point foods can I eat, right? It wasn't about eating healthy or changing any habits. Um, started, I was someone who wasn't very much for the GLP ones prior to them. I don't know that I was against them, but they weren't for me. That was what I would have said. A
Okay.
few different things happened to me. One, I met somebody and she had shared with me that she was on GLP and she had lost a lot of weight. And this was someone I really respected, very science based person. So I'm like, okay, maybe these have something I should look into. Then I went on this cruise and I was actually miserable. Just
Oh,
felt very big, felt uncomfortable. It was a beautiful cruise with my whole family, but it was one of those times where you just didn't feel good about yourself. So
mhm.
that was number two. And then in November, right before I went on, I had been having this tightness, this issue in my neck. And I had gone to the doctor and they were going to do an endoscope. And I was in the ambulatory area to get that done. And when they did it, they had to stop the procedure because my oxygen tanked. And they woke me up in the middle and said, Michele, speak to us. We want to stop this procedure because your oxygen isn't okay. We need you to do this in a hospital setting. So they stopped it. So then I was
Wow.
like, whoa. So those three things in a short time. I went to a new doctor in December of 2024. And I'm like, let me ask him if I'm embarrassed, because it's a hard thing. As heavy as I was, no doctor had ever talked to me about my weight. It was in the chart, but they never talked to me. So I'm like,
Wow.
I'll bring it up. So I went to the doctor, new patient visit. I didn't bring it up at first. He's going through his thing, didn't mention anything about weight, but he did do something that really gave me the courage to ask him. He said to me, is there anything I haven't asked you or anything you want to ask me? And so I asked him about the weight loss medicine, and he laughed. And I'm like, why are you laughing? And he's like, you and every other person who walks in this room asks me about this. So, so he prescribed at that point Wegovy for me.
Okay.
I went, it had to go through a prior authorization. I got the prior authorization, but at that point we were going, I guess, through shortages and they didn't have it. This allowed me time to research further. So I started to research and I looked up this Zepbound, which seemed more effective, all this, because I knew nothing about this stuff. So I called the doctor. I'm like, can we do Zepbound instead? Because it seems better. And he said, sure, like he didn't care. So
Yeah.
he prescribed the Zepbound and had to go through a prior authorization. I called the insurance company and I said, is this going to be approved? And she's like, give me 1 hour. 1 hour later, it was approved. A few days later, I had the prescription, and that's when I started. And
Wow. You know what? Pause for just a second there. That
yeah,
is a really great tip for anyone out there who hasn't started yet, or you tried once to see if your insurance would cover it, and you got a no the first time. Michelle was being very proactive for her health. And by her reaching out and trying to talk to a human and have that human connection with someone there, sometimes that really does make a difference. A lot of times, insurance companies are to make money. They want to make money. And so a lot of times everything is the first time is a no, or makes it a little bit harder to do something. But if you can make a connection with someone there, and be proactive, being proactive and being persistent. I've had shipmates tell me that, and that's what I call my viewers who like to view anchor moments. They're my shipmates. And I've had some shipmates tell me that after they lost their weight, their insurance company was trying to kick them off, or their A1C got better because they had diabetes, but now their A1C was better, and so
Not that
their
we're done.
insurance tried to kick them off. Uh, by being persistent, they were able to get that reversed, there's a lot of people who've had success by being persistent. For me, uh, 2 years, oh gosh, I've been on it for 2 years. 3 years ago, my doctor wanted me to do Manjaro, and I'd never heard of
Did
it
he bring it up?
before. He was the one who brought it up, but I had type 2 diabetes, but he wrote it on a piece of paper and said, in clinical trials, people with diabetes are losing like 50 pounds on this. I think this would be great for you. And I was thinking, oh, wow, if something could help me lose 50 pounds, I just didn't think I'd ever be able to lose 50 pounds. And so that was really gave me some hope. But when I checked with my health insurance, they said no, it was going to be $1,400 a month, and I couldn't afford that. And a year later, I asked again, and it's funny, we had the same health insurance. the health insurance didn't change, and they didn't reach out to me and say, "Hey, it looks like you've got type 2 diabetes and you're really extremely overweight. We'll let you do Manjaro now." No, they didn't reach out to me, but I was persistent in that I reached out again, and come to find out they finally were covering it. And it's been life changing, and I've lost 50 pounds on it. So I hit that first big goal that I wanted to do. I wanted to get into Wonderland, and I wanted to lose 50 pounds, and I've hit that. Now I'd like to lose more now that I know that it's possible, but that first big goal I was able to hit, but it's persistence. So if the first answer is no, you can try again, and sometimes it's someone different that you talk to. There are some people who have a lot of empathy and are really hard workers, and that can help you work around the system. Do you remember watching, The Incredibles? Have you seen The Incredibles, the cartoon, The Incredibles
I have
movie?
not.
It's incredible.
It's incredible. Actually, it has a lot of funny things for adults as well as kids, even though it's a cartoon. But there's a part where Mr. Incredible has a day job, kind of like how Superman, had a day job and people didn't know that he was Superman. Well, Mr. Incredible had a day job and he
Worked at
worked,
Insuracare or
yeah,
something.
at an insurance company. And his job was to tell people no. But on the side, he'd be talking to someone, and then he'd give them the real scoop of how to get around it so they could get their yes. And
Good movie, funny
yeah,
too.
a great movie,
Yeah.
but there is some truth in that. So my advice to all the shipmates out there, if you're having a hard time getting it approved, don't give up.
Take it from Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, take it from Mr. Incredible, and and try again, and you might be able to get it through. So you were able to get Zepbound through.
I was. I was able
Wow.
to get that music because a lot of companies don't, and I recognize that. So yeah, I was very fortunate.
Very cool. And then what was it like getting started?
So I was scared silly to get started. You know, again, it was a year ago. What was on the internet, what was on Facebook was all these terrible things. And I was determined. I wanted to do it again. I had that person who I had known who was on it, definitely respected her, and she had, she wouldn't steer me wrong. So now I live alone. So here I was getting ready to take this medicine. Didn't know how I would react to it. I do have sensitivities. I took my first shot ever. I've never given myself a shot. So that's its own hurdle. I
It
watched
is
things.
a
I think that's how I
hurdle.
started finding people. It is a hurdle. I found that's how I started with YouTube. I never watched YouTube before that. Took my first shot. I remember lying down and saying, I hope I'm here in the morning. And I truly meant that because I'm so sensitive. But I
Yeah.
mentioned to you, I had this tightness in my neck. That's why they did the endoscope, and it felt like I was choking all the time. I woke up in the morning and that feeling was gone, and I've never had it since. And I had it for a whole year, and
Wow.
within 12
Wow.
hours, I knew at that moment I did the right thing. So I think, I didn't know how the weight loss was going to work because everybody's big fear, of course, is it going to work for me, right?
Exactly.
But I knew when I woke up and all of a sudden I didn't have that feeling in my neck that this was the right move for me. And at that minute, everything changed.
Wow. That is amazing. There's a lot of us that deal with inflammation, And being on Mounjaro or Zepbound takes away that inflammation. I had inflammation in my knees, and my knees would hurt all the time. And they would hurt when I would sleep, even. I'd have to put a pillow sometimes between my knees. Uh, and but being on Mounjaro, my knees don't hurt anymore. And then it makes it easier to exercise. I can exercise so much better and walk further, and I can go up and down stairs now because I don't have that pain in my knees. But you are the first person I've ever talked to that within 12 hours seeing a significant change
I
in inflammation in your neck.
in my neck, and I never knew I felt swollen, Gina, but I felt less swollen the next day. Like it was an amazing feeling. And I look at this picture on the screen, and of course, when I looked at it back then, I didn't see what I see now. I see myself and how heavy I was. I didn't see that. And I'm like, you know what? If you look at my neck there, how swollen it is, and
Yeah.
that's the pressure I think I was feeling on my whatever esophagus or whatever it was. And the Zepbound real that's why I always say I will be on this medicine forever in some form.
Yeah. Me too.
So
I don't ever want to go off it. Uh,
yeah,
it's been such a game changer for me. Uh, did you have any
it
other
is for me too.
yeah, have you had any other evidently you don't have type 2 diabetes, or they would have given you Mounjaro instead of Zepbound. And Mounjaro and Zepbound, for anybody that's brand spanking new to even thinking about these kind of medications, it's the same medication. It's called tirzepatide, but it's Mounjaro. So
They call it that when they diagnose you with diabetes,
yeah, when you
type
have type
2.
2 diabetes, they'll give it to you and they call it Mounjaro. So when they write the script and it goes to insurance, they know it's the type 2 medicine. And Zepbound, it's the exact same medicine, but that's just for treating obesity. And now some other things like sleep apnea. People with sleep apnea are able to get it. So you had sleep apnea. Has that gotten better on Zepbound?
So we'll find out probably next month. So I got diagnosed with sleep apnea at the same time I started Zepbound. So
Okay.
I got a CPAP at the same time. So I really didn't have much time before um, with, the sleep apnea. But the doctor I go to for sleep apnea wants me to get another test, home study, because he thinks that I might not need the CPAP machine anymore. And he wants to check it. So we're going to do that again in March. He wants to wait till March. So we'll find out. I also had high cholesterol. My bad cholesterol was high, and that's normal now. I wasn't on medicine, but that's normal. And
Hmm.
I was not pre-diabetic. I asked my doctor about that. I'm like, was my A1C high? Was I pre-diabetic? And he goes, no, you somehow dodged a bullet. So I was very fortunate, but I did my blood work recently. I think it was September, October, almost a year after being on, and everything was perfect. None of my numbers were off. So
That's
it was
great.
wonderful. Yeah. So
Yay. Yeah, I had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and
Stage 1.
stage 1 of that. And after 8 months of being on Manjaro, I had my liver ultrasounded and the fat on my liver was gone. And I no
that's
longer
awesome.
have fatty liver disease anymore. It cured it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and my cholesterol went down and my A1C is now in the normal range, is 5.4, and it was over 7. And when I first got diagnosed, it was over 10. So it's life-saving for me to be on Manjaro for sure.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about so when you first started taking Manjaro, you instantly, the next day, you could tell that you could breathe better and, that your neck felt
Yeah.
so much better. Um, what kind of side effects have you experienced?
Yep.
Any?
So for side effects, when I first started, I had a little bit of queasiness. It wasn't quite nauseous, but just a touch of it. And I had that every single time I've moved up for the first week, but it only happens like the first shot of a new dose for a day or two. And it's just a touch of queasiness. It's not, not even nauseousness. Um, I remember on the 2.5, I had a little bit of headaches, but nothing terrible. I do suffer from constipation. We talk real here. Um,
Yeah, me
so
too.
I've had that. I had that before I ever started GLP, and the GLP did not help that situation. And I sort of had it under control with the Mago 7. I've been on 12.5 now for about 7 weeks, and this dosage with the constipation has been bad. This is the one that I'm still struggling with it, that I haven't been able to get ahead of it, working with my doctor, of course. But
Right.
that's the only main side effect I've had is constipation. The rest of them were very slight. Then I had, of course, all the positive side effects. Like I immediately had some type of suppression. I thought it was, well, the food noise stopped on 2.5 for me. I was very fortunate with that. And I also was not very hungry. So I was able to, on 2.5, lose weight. I lost a lot of weight, whether that's the inflammation or the, not eating the same. Immediately I started losing weight. And I've been pretty consistent with losing weight. I did go about a month and a half with a plateau, where it wasn't even, but I would lose 2 pounds, gain 2 pounds, lose a pound, gain a pound. And I decided that, 10 milligrams was not my milligram because that was the one I plateaued on.
I want to interrupt for just a second to remind everybody that we are not doctors here, and that if you have questions that are related to your specific situation, the best thing to do is always talk to your primary care physician.
Right. But what's really neat about watching all these shows is we give you some great talking points that you can ask your doctor about as well. So that's also really good. Yeah.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about because I mean, wow, I mean, you have really lost a lot of weight in 1 year's time. What kind of things are you doing? What's like a normal day that you would of things you like to eat?
Yep. I'm very focused on protein. So I have protein with every meal. I usually only eat 2 meals a day unless I'm socializing and going out. I'm somebody who wakes up very early during the week for work. I get up at 3:30 a.m., so this is really late for
Wow.
me. And so around 6:30 in the morning, I'll have my breakfast. I eat, like, now I call them a protein bowl. It's my own name, but I'll have different proteins. Cottage cheese. Like this morning, I had an individual serving of cottage cheese. I had 2 hard-boiled eggs. I had blueberries, strawberries, and yellow oranges. So that was my breakfast. So
Okay.
for lunch, I had made yesterday. I'm an air fryer queen. Everything I make in the air fryer because I don't cook. I say I don't cook, but to me, air frying.
You're going in and
I
out a
had
little
two
bit. So
chicken thighs for lunch. A So I had 2 chicken thighs for lunch, and then I had a banana with it. So that was my lunch. And then later on, about 3 o'clock, I don't usually have protein bars, but I just felt like I needed a few more calories. So I like the IQ bars because they're clean and they have fiber in it. And I'm trying to focus a little bit more on fiber to help my stomach. So I had an IQ bar and that's it. And then I drink a ton of water. I'm usually around 100 ounces a day of water. I'm very good on water.
Yeah, me too, because that really makes a difference, especially if constipation is one of the side effects that you have, uh, is having that water. And that's what I try to shoot for is about 100 ounces of water a day too, and getting
Yeah, I
plenty of fiber.
find, Gina, yeah, I find, Gina, that since being on GLP, I I desire water. Like I crave water. I went to Disney with a few of the people who are on, and um, they heard me say, I need to get water. I need to get water. So I'm really focused on water. So
Now you, now you're getting
Yeah,
it.
I know you made me thirsty. That's good. Uh, let's look real quick here through some of the slides in your slideshow. Did you give us any slides from your Disney trip?
I don't think so. I don't think
Oh,
that
cool.
that's me and my mom. That's me and my mom at my niece's wedding. Um, that was probably 2024. That was again my mom and me. This was on the cruise. This was the same picture that we have the before and after from.
Okay.
That was a cruise in the Caribbean. So that was about, gosh, it's probably now about 12, 13 years ago. That was my brother and sister-in-law getting married. So this shows you how weight loss has been a struggle all along.
Yeah, for me too, for many years.
This is from the cruise again last year, 2024. I guess it's 2026 now. And that was again, the one on the left was, I don't know where the picture was from, to be honest with you. The one on the right was about 4 months ago, 3 months ago. I'm a huge General Hospital fan, and they were in town, and a few of us went there. And that's a picture from that. So in the background, if you watch General Hospital, there's Jason and Spinelli in the background there.
Oh, cool. And I love that picture that Dennis created for you, you with
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, it's a great picture. I like it too, and I, it's amazing how you see yourself differently afterward. I really do. I knew I was big. I just didn't realize that. That was my highest weight was 267. So that was 267 or higher because I probably didn't weigh myself then. I didn't weigh myself until I was waiting on the Zepbound to come through. Um, and then when I started the Zepbound, I was 262, because I had lost 5 pounds in between.
Okay.
This really elicits for me how you're being a friend to yourself
That's
and
what
to
I was
loving
gonna
yourself
I was thinking of
into
that
health.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really like this picture because just the way that you did it. So you have your arm around your old self and you're smiling in both pictures. And yeah, it's just, it really is lovely because you're the same wonderful person on the inside, you know? You're you're the same kind person who loves to watch sports and loves your Buccaneers and all of that, but you now have a healthier version of yourself.
And I would also say, and I agree with that, but I would also say I'm different on the inside now. But I will tell you, I'm definitely much more self-confident in my own skin. Um, I am, I've always been what I call a defensive person, just in general. Maybe it's a protective person. And I think not being as comfortable in my own skin, there were things I read into that maybe were there or maybe weren't there, right? And now I'm able to maybe see things in different perspectives. So I think I'm the same, but I'm also different. I really think, I'm one of these people, I truly think that this journey has also been a mental health journey as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wow. That's deep.
Sorry, I'm deep.
No, that was great. That was great. Our next slide here, we have Michelle's word of the year and her vision board. Can you tell us what's happening in this vision board
Yeah.
and how you chose your word?
And just so you know, I'm sure on the screen for other viewers, they may not be able to read all the words being kind of small,
Yeah, so we'll let you to read
So,
it to
yeah.
us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I chose my word for the year to be thrive because last year was about change. There was a lot of change for me. And this year, it's about that next phase. I wrote some thoughts down. I think it was Mindy the other day for you who wrote thoughts down. And I'm like, I'm going to write some thoughts down as well. So for me, thrive is I didn't just survive change, I earned the next phase. This is about health with joy, not restriction. I'm leaving room for abundance instead of just discipline.
Wow.
This is the year I stop proving I can change and start enjoying who I have become. I am no longer chasing better. I am claiming thrive.
Wow.
So that is what peaceful, under the word thrive, it's peaceful, strong, confident, bold, and visible. I think there's a piece for me that wasn't necessarily there. And there's strength that comes from knowing what you've accomplished, along with the confidence, and it provides you the ability to be bold. And I think for me, there were many times I was invisible in my own thoughts, in my own world, and now I'm claiming to be visible. So I'm going to thrive with that. So underneath, when 2026 is over, I want to say this was the year I did it. I showed up, I moved my body, I helped others, and I finally helped myself. And then if you go to the bottom on the left-hand side, it says nourish and move. And on the right-hand side, it says support and empower, because I'm all about helping others. I'm all about supporting myself, helping others, and then empowering them to have their own strength.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
And then it's healthy body, clear mind.
Love it.
Oh, it is so beautiful. And the artwork and everything on there, it's
Yeah, I
the
can't take
words
credit.
are
That is
beautiful.
Chat GPT.
So tell me a little bit about that process too. I have done vision boards for a few years now, and good. The next slide here. This was my first vision board. The year that I took my first shot on
Wait.
January 10th, 2024.
Was that Chat GPT?
No, no AI helped me create that. That was a box of crayons and some regular notebook paper but I never had a vision board before, and I have a friend named Tabitha that she does vision boards at her house, and you can go to her house, and she gives you all the supplies for a very minimal cost. And she has food for us and everything, and you can spend a whole afternoon creating it. And every year that she'd have it, there'd be something I had to go to, some other nonprofit activity that I'm involved in or something, and I would miss it. And so in 2024, I'm like, I'm just going to sit down with a box of crayons. I really want to have a vision board. And that was my vision board. But it did help me with my health because like I said, after 8 months, my non-alcoholic fatty liver disease disappeared, and my A1C got under control for the first time since I was diabetic. And we did do some traveling in the fall, and so it was fun creating that. And then last year, I did make it to Tabitha's house finally. And she has lots of magazines that you can cut out pictures and things. And she has alphabet stickers. And I did Jeff's very first power word was embrace, and mine was explore. And put that together. Oh, I want to do that there in just a second. Let's go back to yours. So chat GPT, because I've not done mine yet. My power word this year, I've chosen it, and it's connect, because I like to connect people. And I like giving myself my shot on Manjaro Mondays, because I like the connection of being in community and connecting with community as well. And I like connecting people to my favorite nonprofits, to get them to want to volunteer and do things with me. There's a lot of different ways that I would like connect, and the connection of supporting and helping each other is really neat for me. Oh yeah, and I forgot my shot. Just giving my he's reminding me today's the day that I give my shot live too. But connect. And Jeff's word for this year, what's your word for this year, Jeff? Jeff,
What?
what's your power word for this year?
Oh,
You're old?
yeah.
Did you forget already? He's getting something. Maybe he's getting a prop. Are you getting oh no, he's giving me my alcohol pen. I thought maybe he had a prop
I was
for his
focused
word.
on getting this for
You're
you.
focused on getting this for me.
Focus.
And yeah, and Jeff's word this year is focus. And I'd like to do a vision board again. But tell me how you do this with Chat GPT to be able to create a gorgeous vision board, putting your one word in. How did you do that?
So me and ChatGPT have a nice long history, so it knows me well because I weigh myself on the Humane Body Pod and then I upload it to ChatGPT so it can explain what's gone well and what I can focus on. So it knows how focused I am on all of this. So,
That's
and I
really cool.
do,
Jeff
and I
and
keep
I
an
have one of those. Jeff and I have a body pod, a human body pod too. Uh, and I didn't even think about connecting it to Chat GPT.
Well,
yeah, I upload the progress report. I upload a
Okay.
picture of the progress report and I say, tell me everything I need to know, right? And it does. And I keep an ongoing chat and we compare it and it's very encouraging. So I opened a new chat and I told them about my word is thrive and I want to make a vision board. And I said to Chat GPT, ask me the questions you need to ask me. And it started me through a series of questions. And I asked it, and then I told it to make me the vision board based on the answers. And the first thing it came out with wasn't happy. And I told them that didn't work for me. And they said, what about some watercolors? And blah, blah, blah. And then it told me how it wanted to do it. And I said, okay, I like this, don't like this. It had a different word for the support and empower. I switched it, and it came out with version 1, which you saw, and then I added a little bit more to it. So it's just an interactive ask me questions. It asked me questions, then I answer them, and then it would give what it thinks it understands, and we'd go back and forth. So I actually have conversations with ChatGPT.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
So
it is amazing. And I appreciate you explaining that because every video I ever do, it's for the power of one.
What is that?
And if there is at least one viewer out there somewhere that something that I say or something my guest would say inspires them in some way and helps them in some way, then taking the time to make the video is worth it. If I can help at least one person. If it helps more than one, that's great.
yeah.
But it needs to be at least one, and then it's worth it. And I am sure, well, actually, the one of the one people is me. You're helping me today, for sure, Michelle, because you know, I can try to do this. Maybe try with Chat GPT and give it a shot. And there may be somebody else out there who, maybe they have a power word, or if they don't have a power word yet, all the different words on the screen on her vision board, each of those individual words could be your one power word of the year, like peaceful. Maybe this is the year that you want peace or to be more peaceful. Strength or strong. Confident. Maybe this is the year, that you really focus on being more confident. That could be your one big word of the whole year. I mean, all of these bold and visible, uh, nourish, move, support, empower,
Good words.
all of those words are phenomenal power words. And they all of those focus on your thrive. But someone out there, one of those little words might be just the thing that will inspire them to create their vision board. And you don't have to be a great artist like me. You don't have to have a lot of crayons and and special skills.
I definitely wasn't.
But you can create something really beautiful just even with your computer. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
And some of the chats you'll see shortly here are also suggesting Canva,
Oh,
which
okay.
is a possibility too.
And Jeff does a lot with Canva for me. We actually have the pro version of Canva, and we pay a little bit of money every month because it helps us to be able to create better thumbnails with Canva. And so Jeff does Canva
I
and
like it.
creates our thumbnails. So yeah, maybe we could do it with Canva. Hey, and our buddy Grant. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Grant. Just gave us a super chat, super sticker. Thank you so much. And he says, "Thanks for sharing your story with us today, Michelle." Yeah. And thanks, Grant, for your support. We appreciate you so much. Let's see what some of the people in our audience has to say, and if they have some
I saw some
questions.
questions.
Okay. Hey, we got Dennis in the house. He's the guy who
What do you want?
created. Oh, wait. I went too fast.
Oh,
He's the one who created this picture for Michelle. Yay. And Dennis says, "Hello, friends.
Thank you, Dennis.
Excited to hear Michelle share her amazing journey."
you want to go back to here now?
Sure.
Okay.
And we got Manjaro Journey with Pam in the house too. Woohoo! And she's lost over 160 pounds.
How do you
on
keep all these numbers
Manjaro
straight, Gina?
because these people inspire me.
Yes.
They inspire me so much. And Pam's been a guest on my show a couple of times, and she even had skin removal surgery. And she has her own YouTube channel, Manjaro Journey with Pam. And so, if anyone needs skin removal surgery, Pam has a playlist on her YouTube channel, and it has, I mean, where she's in the hospital and she's got her drainage tubes. I mean, she shares all of that journey, so you can see what it would be like and decide if that's something you would want to do. Have you had any problems? You've lost 120 pounds in a year. You look great. Is there do you have any skin issues?
Yeah. Yes, so it's interesting. I was pretty good the first 100, and then once the 100 hit, all of a sudden I'm like, I have all this. I noticed the wrinkly skin and stuff, loose skin starting. So, um, I'm at, I'm still losing. So, I'm not at my goal rate yet. So I'm still losing. So we'll look at that after the fact and figure out that at this point, I don't know what I will do that way. I have the loose skin under the arms. I have a little bit, around the belly. So we will see. But, it's 124 pounds. I'm going to have some loose skin.
Yeah,
I'll take
but
it.
it's worth it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That is
I'll
worth it
take it.
compared to the alternative for sure. Yes, and the better health that came with it. And we have Grant. Yay. He's congratulating Michelle. And we
Yeah.
have Barb, Health at Any Cost here, who's another one of Michelle's special friends. Barb also lives in Florida. And Barb and Dennis, Mindy, Mayor Mindy, and a few others, they met up and they went to Disney World for 3 days and had a wonderful time.
I would have never ever been able to do that. And my first day, I think it was like 25,000 steps I had on that first day. And there's no way I could have done that a year ago.
Isn't that amazing? In 1 year's time. And the people that you met up with, did you know any of them before you started your GLP-1 journey?
No, none of them. So on the first day, it was Mindy, Bob, Dennis, myself, and I had met up with Bob since the GLP. I met up at a meetup that the Downsize had done.
Okay.
So I had met Bob there. And we had seen each other a few times since then. Dennis and Mindy, I talked to on the live chats, but I hadn't met them until I met them in Orlando. And honestly, it felt like I knew them forever, both of them.
Yeah.
It was actually amazing. And then on Sunday, we met up with even more people from the community.
Wow.
I think there was like 8 or 9 of us on that Sunday. We did a candlelight processional at Epcot with Henry Winkler, for those of you who are a little older. So that was wonderful. It's true.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
But it's true that this has also, there's a community within it. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people in the community I don't care to see. They're just not my cup of
Oh, you're
tea.
breaking up a little bit.
But there have been so many. And sorry, can you hear me?
Now we
Hear
can
you
hear
now.
you.
Okay. But it's been wonderful meeting the people in the community. They're just, there's something to be said about people on similar journeys, going through similar experiences, and having an understanding of the journey you have been through, you're going through, and you're going to end up with.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just amazing the strong friendships you can create that you can have online. Um, the when I first took my shot 2 years ago, and we posted that video of me being super scared and
Oh, that hurt.
and giving myself and that my thumbnail is, will it hurt? I'm like, oh, and
That was not staged. That was
no,
a picture
no.
before she shot herself.
Jeff just took that. That was a live action shot of my face going, because I was just so scared. And I wasn't sure if I heard the second click, because you're supposed to hear two clicks. And I could only hear one click because my heart was pounding so hard in my head and in my ears, hearing my heart pounding. I didn't hear the second click and I was nervous about it. And I said that. I'm like, I don't think I heard a second click. And I wasn't sure, do I move the shot off me or not? And Barb was one of the very first people to message me in the comments. And she messaged me, yeah, I heard the second click. You did it right, or whatever. And encouraged me from that very first day. And I love Barb from the bottom of my heart. She is so
She's
precious to
wonderful.
me.
Wonderful.
And when Jeff and I, we have a second YouTube channel called Anchor Moments RV. And when we took our van RV, we drove to Florida and we got an opportunity to sleep in our van in her driveway and get to meet her for the first time and give her a big hug. uh, it was just so much fun. So much fun being able to see her and Mayor Mindy. We went to her house and got to meet her and do a lot. And we did lives both times. So much fun. And then when we went on the downsized cruise with Mayor Mindy and with Barb and a bunch of people, Dennis was there. We met Dennis for the first time there. So many people that have commented on the lives we got to meet in person on the cruise, and it was just a blast. um it it just felt like like we were teenagers and it was summer, and you were just every day was, who am I going to play with today and what are we going to do to have fun? And we just laughed all the time and just had a ball together. If anyone is interested in joining us on this year's cruise, the Downsized is doing it again June 4th through 8th on Royal Caribbean to the Bahamas. Just go to thedownsized.org, and on their website, there's a spot that about the cruise that you can click on to sign up for it. I highly recommend it. And Jeff, had you ever cruised before?
No,
And did you want to go on a cruise?
no,
No. 35 years of marriage, I begged him to go on cruises with me, but his power word last year was explore.
no.
No,
Grace.
mine was explore and his was embrace, to embrace the fear and do it anyway. And Mayor Mindy told me, just tell Jeff he's supposed to embrace his fear and do it anyway, and just go on one cruise, but she's got to at least try it. And so I told
She
him,
said if I didn't like it, that I only had to go on that one cruise and she would never ask me again. And I thought, that's a pretty good deal.
yeah. I mean, he had to listen to nagging for 35 years, and the thought that I'd never nag him again.
Right.
But it ended up he loved it. And so
Yes.
so we already signed up for this next year's cruise, but so fun.
Me too.
Community is so, so important. It really is. Hey, and we've got A Barnett in the house. And she says, I made it to a live. Yay. Hi, shipmates. Happy New Year. And they're loving your pictures, Michelle. And we got Mayor Mindy in the house. Hey, hey, hey. And I love that everybody is friends. And they always like to talk to each other in the chat, which is great. And A Barnett says, my mom has gone from 250 down to 154. She's doing PT now with weights and bands. Next, learning how to eat properly. Wow, your mom is at my goal weight. My heaviest weight was 254. I was 246 when I took my first shot, and now I'm 196. I bounce between, 196, 198, then back down to 196, but that's where I'm bouncing at now. But my stretch goal is to hit 154, and I think that would be good for me. And then I'd call it good. That would be so neat to be down 100 pounds. But wow, that is great. Tell your mom congratulations, A. Barnett. That's amazing. And Dennis says, you're so lucky to have insurance coverage for Zepbound. Seriously, because not a lot of people do. And that's why they need to go to compounding pharmacies because it costs less. But if you do the compounding pharmacy route, you definitely need to talk to your doctor about it and make sure that you're getting a good one that's reputable, because that's the part that's a little scary going that route. So you definitely want a reputable one.
I definitely agree, Dennis, how fortunate I am to have that and recognize how many people don't have that. And
Yeah,
accessibility is something we really have to work on for people.
absolutely. Absolutely. And hey, we got Taz the Bulldog's mom in the house, Cindy. Hoo-hoo. And we have Angie, Journey of Life, here too. And I think this is one of your friends, Michelle.
Yes. Hello.
And yeah, and everyone's saying hi and waving. Let's see if we have any questions. Oh, and A. Barnett says, it's sad how insurance companies deny coverage for meds and even much needed procedures. This is the USA, for goodness sake. We're better than that. I know it's tough. It really is. Yeah, and Grant agrees. And A. Barnett says, hey, Michelle, how did you handle the skin after losing weight? Well, I think you
I think
answered
And
that
I'm
one.
still losing. Yeah, I'm still losing. So haven't handled it in any way at this point.
Yeah. Hey, we got Kelly. And she says, hey, Michelle, does it cause episodes of gastric emptying?
Does it?
Does it?
As you'll see in the next.
Oh, okay. But yeah, she was trying to write, does it?
Oh. So it slows down digestion, the GLP, and I get the end of, like I said, the constipation piece versus there were times I'd have like diarrhea, but mostly it would be the constipation piece. And the GLP does slow it down. That's one of the things it's intended to do. So I haven't had any explosive episodes.
Yeah. I have had Kelly 3 times. I call those Manjaro spankings. And today I'm going to be taking my 104th shot live of my 15 milligrams of Manjaro. And
If you remember.
if I remember, yeah, I might even do it right now while we're thinking about it. And I will tell you, I learned from all 3 of my Manjaro spankings. And that's why I've only had 3 in 104 weeks. One thing I know now I can't do, I can have one drink of alcohol, one alcohol drink with dinner, but I can't have 2. And even if it's a couple hours apart and it's 2 in an evening, uh, and I don't drink that often, I'm a social drinker, so only if I'm at a party or usually with my family. And they live in Florida, so I don't see them that often. And so when we do get a get together, there's alcohol involved, but I only can have one drink. because if we go out to dinner, I'm already eating calories that are a little bit more calorie, or food that's a little more calorie dense. I can have one alcoholic drink and I'm a-okay. But if I have the second one, I will wake up hours later in middle of the night, and it'll come out of both ends at the same time. So I mean, it's a real
That was
spanking.
not a fun night in the hotel
No, I'm
room.
sure
So
it
we went
wasn't.
to Vegas with my family, and I actually made a video about it to warn others on GLP-1s, because there's a
Not a
bunch of us
graphic video.
that I wasn't a graphic video. It was me sharing it, but it was a YouTube short, and it was my Vegas mistake on a GLP-1. And just to warn others, because there's a lot of us that are, maybe you have one glass of wine with dinner, but that's it. And you don't really have a lot of people who do drink like one drink a day or whatever stop drinking. They just don't crave alcohol anymore, so it doesn't call to them. And it doesn't really call to me, because I like to eat my calories versus drink my calories, and that's why I don't drink very often. But when we were in Vegas,
So that was one of your lessons.
yeah, I had 2 drinks and boom, and that's happened to me twice now. So 2 of my 3 Manjaro spankings, I had 2 alcoholic drinks. In an evening, even with a couple hours between the 2 drinks, I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night with vomiting and diarrhea, so I know not
Now,
to do that.
those are pretty sugary drinks. She likes
Oh,
getting
yeah.
a
I
drink
don't
with
drink
the
beer.
sugar around the rim.
Yeah, yeah. So I like anything like a pina colada or a lemon drop martini, or I like sugary. If I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna make it fancy and fun. So, but if I have 2 cocktails, I'm toast.
What was your second lesson?
Um. So anyway, so yes, I've had gastric emptying, but just 3 times. That one time it was the shepherd's pie, and I didn't have any alcohol because it was me and you at home.
Was it just too rich?
I think it was just too rich. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and phew, and I think that was my first Manjaro spanking, and there was no alcohol involved. And it was earlier on. I think I was only on 5 milligrams at the time. And it was earlier in my Manjaro journey.
And do you
Um
remember your third lesson?
uh
Sorry.
no, and then the other 2 were alcohol related. But I only had, it wasn't like, I wasn't drunk. I wasn't, because if you're drunk, you could throw up or whatever, but I wasn't drunk. But still, hours later, in the middle of the night, phew, it was gastric emptying. But only 3 times, so that's not too bad.
I will tell you, Gina, for me with alcohol, prior to GLP, I was a person who would have a drink with dinner every night. A glass of wine with dinner every night. When I started the GLP, I no longer desired it. I was one of those people. I took a trip last spring. I went to Italy, Greece. I did a cruise. Italy, Greece,
Wonderful.
Turkey. It was beautiful. And if you go to Italy, you have to have a glass of wine, right?
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
part of the whole. So I ordered a glass of wine. I took a few sips. I didn't even finish it because I just wanted it because I was in Italy. I ate the
Right.
pasta now, but and it didn't affect me. I didn't have much, but I didn't have the desire. The other thing I lost the taste for was coffee. I was a huge
Really?
coffee snob. I liked my black coffee. I would drink lattes, cappuccinos. I loved coffee. I found after starting the GLP, like a week after, I noticed I was making coffee in the morning, taking one sip and not drinking it. I'm like, why am I making this if I'm not drinking it? So I stopped making it. Then I missed something hot just because I like something hot in the morning.
Huh.
I'm colder. So I started making herbal tea and I love it. And that's what I've been drinking ever since.
Wow. I still like coffee. But I only drink one cup a day, and it's a half a cup of coffee, and it's a half a cup of Fairlife chocolate protein drink. I fill half my cup with that, and I heat it up in the microwave, and then I add coffee to it, so it's like a 50-50. But I only need the one, and I'm good.
Yeah,
But interesting.
I just have no desire for either one and really haven't done it.
Huh. And A.
Thank you.
Barnett says it's an incredible transformation. Yeah, Michelle has been an incredible transformation. Absolutely. And Kelly says, where does Wegovy fit in?
And I think it's answered in the next one.
Oh, okay. Wegovy is the weight loss version of Ozempic. Yep. And it's semi-glutide. It's also, there's a lot of people who've had a lot of success on it as well. A lot of times it might be a little bit less expensive and can be a cheaper route to go. And you can see if your doctor will prescribe it. And if you can't get Mounjaro or Zepbound, Mounjaro and Zepbound have two ingredients that help you with weight loss, but Wegovy and Ozempic just have one. And so a lot of people, in the clinical trials, uh, lost more weight on Mounjaro or Zepbound. But the thing is, maybe you don't need as much, or maybe your body will, you'll be a really good responder to it. And if it's not covered under your insurance, and you can get it for less, if you're comparing, the two prices, if it's more affordable for you, then that's another great way to go. Oh, and they
Absolutely.
also just came out today, I saw on the news, with a Wegovy pill that you can take, and it's that just came out. And you take it once a day. You take it first thing in the morning, and you wait 30 minutes before you eat food when you take the pill. And it's some people, it's covered under their insurance for $25 a month. And for people that's not covered, uh, it's not too terribly expensive. I mean, it's still not
I
cheap.
think I saw
Uh,
149. I think I
yeah,
saw it
for
for.
the lower doses, it's 149, and for the higher doses, maybe 250. I can't
Yeah,
remember,
I'm
but
not
the
sure.
starting dose is 149 a month, which is still not cheap. But what Manjaro and Zepbound, they were $1,400 a month if you didn't have insurance for the name brand, and that's a huge difference in price. That's why I couldn't take Manjaro that first year. I couldn't afford $1,400 a month. It's like a house payment. And it says Google it; it'll give you a side by side of the two. Yeah. And A. Barnett says, I still can't get over that fatty liver situation being cured. I know, that was such a nice surprise. And truly cured. I mean, I had the ultrasound, and the doctor came out and said, wow, Gina, what are you doing? And when
I
I
think
told
they've
the
done
doctor,
studies on that, Tina.
yeah, yeah. There, and actually the doctor first wanted to know what I was doing. And the doctor said there is some clinical trials going on right now with Eli Lilly for because if they can say prove that it cures fatty liver disease, then that'll be another way people will be able to get it. But it cured it for me in 8 months' time. And A. Barnett says, would stool softeners help with the constipation?
I'm actually taking them.
Hmm.
So it has not been, it's helped a little, but not as much as I'd like. But I haven't taken them in the past, but on the 12.5, I've been trying pretty much everything. So
Yeah.
Have you found one that works better than another?
I have found using a stool softener and Mago 7 will work. And then every so often, I have to throw in a laxative. And all of this is under the care of my doctor.
Right.
So
Which is
just want to
important.
stress that again.
Yes.
And she said I can take a stool softener every single day. I just have a problem still mentally taking a stool softener every day. That's something I'm working through, but
Yeah,
You
yeah. For
know,
me, my doctor said that I could take Miralax, 1 dose of Miralax every day until I die if I want to, and I'd be fine. But again, you have to ask your own doctor because you might have a
Everybody is
medication,
different.
everybody is different. And you might be on another medication for some other thing that, maybe certain stool softeners would be an issue. And magnesium is one that helps a lot of people. However, for some people, magnesium can give you a heart palpitations. I had
yes.
someone close to me who was taking magnesium for constipation who wasn't on a GLP-1. He would just has to try to stay ahead of constipation. So he was trying magnesium, thinking, well, that's healthy. It's a vitamin. And he ended up in the ER thinking he was having a heart attack, but come to find out it was the magnesium. And then I've checked into that, and yeah, that for some people that can be an issue, but everybody is different, as Mayor Mindy says. And so you definitely need to talk with your doctor. And another person to talk to that's always easy to get a hold of,
Oh dear.
pharmacists. And you find them everywhere. They're in the grocery store. They're in, pharmacies, like Walgreens, CVS, all kinds of places you can find a pharmacist.
But
And
whatever you do, you need to tell them all the other things that you're taking,
oh,
including
absolutely.
over the counter or herbal kinds of
Mhm.
things.
And supplements, what
Yeah.
supplements you're taking. Yeah, but you can go to the window that says,
Consultation.
consultation. You go to the consultation window and you can ask them, and they will look up your different medications you're taking and that kind of thing to see if something would be okay for you or not. They're a very good resource, and you don't have to make an appointment. You can just show up and ask.
And it's free.
And it's free advice. And Grant says, random thing here, but I've discovered over the past few weeks that I'm bleeding at the injection site. Really? I never did before. I'm wondering if it's where I have less fat in the gut area now. That might be because Grant has lost over 70 pounds in about a year's time, too.
Wow.
And that may be part of it, Grant, that you are thinner now. For me, it's hit or miss. Sometimes I have a light red dot, and sometimes I don't. And I kind of prefer to have the red dot because then I know for sure it went in. Which I think I'm gonna do mine real quick. I'm gonna do my arm today since I'm wearing um these really goofy sleeves. It's really easy to do my arm this time. So I think I'm gonna do my arm here real quick, and we'll go to
So would that be a reason to not do it in your stomach area, but maybe do under back of your arms or
well,
something?
Grant's got to find where he has the most fat, because he's starting to get skinny now. When I talked to my pharmacist, someone was concerned about because I did a video giving myself my shot for the first time in my arm, and someone said you're putting it in the wrong place. And so in the comments, and I thought, oh dear, I sure hope I didn't put it in the wrong place because if I did, I got to take this video down because I don't want to hurt anybody. So I went to my pharmacist at Costco where I get my medication, and I showed my pharmacist, I said, I do it right here because this is where I'm the fattiest, on my upper arm. And my pharmacist said, that's fine, Gina. They were thinking the person that was upset was thinking it should be like right here, like you would get a flu shot, on the side of your upper arm. But I have muscle right there. Here, I got fat for days here. And he said, yes, you want to put it where you're the fatty part of your upper arm. But he said, eventually, Gina, you're going to get too skinny. And then you're just going to want to do it wherever the fat is. So if one area, either your stomach or your thighs or your arms are thinner, then you want to find a place where you have some fat because that's where you're trying to inject is in your fat. So it depends. I haven't met you in person yet, Grant, but we're going to visit Grant and his wife in West Virginia this spring. So I'm excited to do that. All right, I've got this cleaned off.
If
So
anybody has
then,
asked their doctor that question, that would be interesting to know.
about the blood.
Yes.
Okay, sure. But there we go. Take the cap off first before you do the little twisting. And then I twist from lock to unlock. And here we go.
I'm gonna list.
And then let's see if we can hear 2 clicks. Here we go. I'll do it right, like trying to get my angle here. It's always harder to do the arm.
2 clicks.
There we go. Do I have a red dot?
Nope.
Nope. No red dot.
You know, what milligram are you on?
15. I titrated up to 15 in October of this year. So it took me over a year and a half to work up to 15, but I'm on 15 now. I was hoping it would break. I had a 4 month in a row stall, and so I was ready to have some movement. And then I also started in October lifting weights for the first time. At Fitness, I discovered that you can have a free personal trainer show you how to use their strength training machines, and I didn't know that they offered that. And so I had Jeff and I do that, and now we're strength training every week, and it's really made a difference. It's funny. I have the Hume Body Pod scale, the same scale that you have. And I was a little disappointed that since Halloween, I've only lost 1 pound from where I am currently. Um, uh, at my highest, where I am now, where I bounce around the same 2 or 3 pounds, it's only a difference of 1 pound. But since Halloween, so it's between 1 pound and 4 pounds. But when I stepped on the scale this week and it was 1 pound, I did the thing on the body pod scale where you can create a report from October 31st till today. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's only 1 physical pound on the scale, but I've actually dropped a bunch of pounds of fat and I've gained a bunch of pounds of muscle. So I'm having body recomposition right now.
Yeah. And take that progress report, do a screenshot of it, and put that in Chat GPT. That's what I do. I don't type everything in. I take a screenshot of it on my phone and attach it to the Chat GPT, and I say to it, tell me what you see from this date to this date, what should be the standard range, because I want to know that, and what do you suggest needs to happen? And it gives you a whole thing. It's wonderful.
Oh yeah. And some of that fat was bad fat that I got rid of. So I still have, yeah, I had they give you a number from 1 to 25 on visceral fat. And I was an 18 on Halloween and now I'm a 16. So that's,
That's
that's
awesome.
going in the correct
You're still
direction.
#1 with no.
Oh, well, thank you, sweetie.
And that doesn't move so fast, so that's good.
Yeah. So there are good things happening in my body and my history of my life from Halloween until New Year's Day, I usually gain 5 to 10 pounds. And instead, I'm down 1 to 4, depending on the day. And my visceral fat and the rest of that's down. So that's a big change for me too, even though the numbers aren't super huge as a difference. Okay, let's see. And Grant says, stool softeners do help me some. And Miralax helps me a bunch. And having enough fiber and water and that kind of stuff. I mix hard-boiled eggs, cottage cheese, and Dijon mustard, just like egg salad. Oh, I bet that would be really delicious.
I think I want to do that, Jean.
Yeah, thanks, MK. I like that idea. Hard-boiled eggs, cottage cheese, and Dijon mustard.
We have all those.
We have all of those. Cool beans. And Kelly wrote, Michelle, do you drink alcohol? Yep, she explained that one too. And now it doesn't call her anymore. Hey, we got Claudia in the house. Woohoo! And Claudia says, hello, y'all. Happy New Year. Wishing everyone blessings. Hey, my daughter just got married on New Year's Eve. Congratulations. She's up in Cambria, California, and it was so beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad, Claudia.
Congratulations.
You know what? Having a wedding on New Year's Eve means they'll never forget the other's anniversary.
That's right. They'll always know their anniversary for sure. And Barb says, Grant, I never bled until the last year when I lost most of the weight. Oh, thank you, Barb. Now it hurts and leaves blood when I pull the thing off my skin. Never hurt before the last year. Oh, because yeah, and Barb is at her goal weight now. So yeah. Okay, thank you, Barb. I was thinking that might be the thing when you just don't have as much fat to poke. A. Barnett says, hey, Grant, I looked it up and a little drop or two bleeding is normal, possibly the needle hitting a tiny blood vessel. It's recommended to have a doctor look at it if it gets red, warm, and swells. And Grant says, yeah, it might hurt now as well, and it didn't hurt before. Yep. And then you can always ask your doctor. Absolutely. Thanks, A. Barnett. And Barb says, I think it's good. We got good at injections and love the results. So I just suck it up and do it anyway. We love Barb. And A. Barnett says, let's err on the side of caution, my friend. Always. Always. Yep. And you can ask your doctor for sure. And Grant says, I hear that, Barb. I will for sure mention it to her, Barnett. Thank you. And Barb says, A. Barnett, my fatty liver disease is gone now too. All of my organs are very, very happy with me now. Yay! And Angie says, that is such a beautiful vision board. Yeah, I know.
Thank
Michelle's
you.
vision board is so pretty. And Mindy says, love the vision
Oh,
board, Michelle. And yep, it is just so pretty. And Sandy Murphy loves it
oh,
too. I love this vision board, Michelle. Thank you for sharing this. And she did it with ChatGPT. That is so cool. And Barb loves you too, Michelle. And Grant
you
says, your
too,
vision
Bob.
board, yeah. And Grant says, your vision board and explanation of it is so beautiful and inspiring. And Claudia says, yes, a great photo, loving yourself through the journey to health for yourself. Thrive is a great word. Thanks for sharing today on Anchor Moments. Aw, thanks, Claudia. See, she's our power of one. She's been my power of one a few times. And Black Squirrel says, love the vision board. Hey, glad to have you in the house, Black Squirrel. Gina's, yeah, mine was the crayon GPT. Barb says, hi, Sandy and Black Squirrel. And Angie says, yep, that's what mine looks like. Ain't no shame in my crayon game. And we have fun, and that's the most important part. Oh, gosh. And Claudia says, Jeff, was that Chat GPT? It's so funny. And unlike the way Gina says crayons, yes. Jeff says crayons, but I call them crayons. I'm from Illinois. I'm a Midwestern girl. And Sandy says, hi, Grant and Barb. Happiest of New Year's to you all. Yay. And Barb says, that was an accident, Claudia. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can
I
bring
think
the
it was
message back.
accidentally deleted chat.
Oh, yep. Because Barb is one of my very special moderators. And
Thank you,
so is
Barb.
Grant and Mindy. I love them to pieces. And Grant says, Canva is another good tool for vision boards like this. Yep. So Jeff's going to have to try that for me. Grant, that's true. Canva is good for that. And Barb says, I can't bring your hilarious message back, Claudia. I feel awful. No worries. And Claudia says, hey, Jeff, too funny. Asking if she used ChatGPT for her 2024 vision board. And I like the way she says crayons. Aw.
Hey, Audra.
Hey, Audra. And Barb says, I'm so happy you saved it, Claudia. Oh, she did. Oh, good. Oh, and thank you, Grant. It really does make a difference. If you can give us a thumbs up, and if you'd like to subscribe, that'd be great. And it's always free to subscribe and be a shipmate. And Tracy says, I love the picture too. It reminds me that I really need to show love and kindness to my former self. Yes. And
Absolutely.
forgiveness is huge. I even wrote a book on that. That's what started Anchor Moments. I wrote a book, Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness, learning how to forgive ourselves, forgive others, and how to ask for forgiveness when we've messed up. And yeah, now they're laughing at Claudia. And they're welcoming Tracy. And, oh, and Canva has an AI component. Did you know that?
I did.
Okay, cool beans. And everyone's thankful that Michelle shared her story. And Barb says, Dennis, I didn't see you here. Hi, hon. And Audra's in the
Oh,
house, and she says, Michelle has always been a huge inspiration to so many. Yes, that's was so nice to be able to have her on the show today. Hey,
Well,
we're loving the Funds, and she got to meet the Funds. Yep, she is a very kind soul. I agree, Audra. And MM Clem's in the house. Hey, hey. Hey, Mark. And Mark, are you going to be on the cruise again this year? And we got Tracy in the house. Also typed in my human body
I
pod
did it.
report. Oh, to Chat GPT. It was great. It analyzed everything. We have to try that, Jeff.
Tracy, you don't have to type it in though. You can just upload it. Save yourself all that work.
That's amazing that ChatGPT can
Can
just
read the
read
picture.
all the pictures of the words.
Wow.
I started with an obesity doctor, Gina, and they gave me an in-body scan. So I took a picture of it and uploaded that, and it was able to grab all of that too.
Wow,
Awesome.
that's amazing.
That is amazing. And thank you, Claudia. Yay. She gave us a super sticker. You made my heart smile. I appreciate you, Claudia. Thank you so much. And Grant says, I got a new eVolt body scan Wednesday, so I'll have to try and put those results in Chat GPT. And Grant gets his body scan done at Anytime Fitness. I said, thanks, Tracy Michelle, for sharing how you do it. And Audra says, insurance wouldn't cover mine, but it was all worth it. I have 10 pounds to go. Oh, so you're so
That's awesome.
close. That is awesome. Congratulations. And you did explain about the alcohol. And Mark says, chocolate does not call to me anymore. I can drink 4 or 5 beers, no problem, but very rarely. And Barb says, I stopped Diet Coke the day I started Manjaro.
Interesting.
30-year addiction with 8 to 10 cans a day, gone with the first shot. Wow, Barb. Now, yeah, I always thought, she's been my buddy for so long. I didn't think she had anything new. And she always surprises me every day. There's something new to learn about Barb. Wow. And I don't drink that much Diet Coke anymore. It's real rare for me. I still like it when I go out for Mexican food,
Yeah, I don't drink
with the
any
spicy
soda at
stuff.
all.
But that's the only time now. And I used to drink at least 2 or 3 cans a
I
day.
like ice water with lemon more and
Yeah.
more.
I'm drinking a lot of water now. And Sandy Murphy says, I've gone from 209 in February of 2025 to 114 pounds. That's it. Wow. As of today, I'm for sure in maintenance now, but also so thankful for the shots that has changed my life. Congratulations, Sandy. Yay. We got to learn
Sandy,
how to
how
push a
tall are
button that
you?
makes confetti go.
Yeah.
There's a way
How
to do
tall
that.
are
I
you,
just haven't
Sandy?
learned it yet. But here's some pretend
I-
confetti. Whee!
I'm
To
going to give you some
Sandy.
confetti to throw.
Ah. And wow, Barb, any withdrawal headaches? Oh, yeah, because that's a lot of caffeine not to have. Isn't it amazing, Sandy? And Grant, none.
Wow.
No withdrawal headaches either. Wow. And Angie says, I've been on the Zep pen and the compound, and I found using a syringe was a lot easier to use. It's painless, and I can inject slowly, not like my Zep pen. Oh, that's good to know. And Barb says, it is very late for me, so heading to bed. Michelle and I are up way before dawn. Love to all. Oh, love you too, Barb. And Mark says, yes, I'm going on the cruise with my wife. Marina was so fun last year. It was really fun meeting you, Mark. And yeah, that cruise was a blast. I'm so excited to go. And Michelle's going to be joining us too.
I will.
And Angie says, I wish I could go on the GLP-1 cruise. I just have too many littles right now. Once the baby is old enough, I'm going on a cruise, God willing. Absolutely. And as long as Jeff and I are healthy, we'll probably go each year. So we'll meet you one of these years on it, Angie. Never been on one because of my husband's fear of the ship, but if Jeff can do it, so can he. Seriously. And you'll need to show him. I have a playlist of every day on the cruise. And it's funny because in the beginning, when I ask him, he's not gonna tell me, he's still, the jury is out. The jury is out. And then by the last day, it was hard to get him off the ship. He was having so much fun. And Sandy's 5'1". She's short like me. Oh, and so is Angie too. Oh my gosh. And Black Squirrel says, I prefer the vial to the pen too. Love the vials. That's good to know, you guys, because there may be a point that they don't do the pens anymore. And now I won't have to fear it because you guys are letting us know that it's all good.
You'll have to do a new video. Will it hurt?
Will it hurt with the vial? All right. Well, Michele, that is all of the questions for tonight. And I know it's late on your end. I want to thank you so much for sharing your inspiring journey with us. And I look forward to seeing you soon because we are going to be in the Tampa area. So we'll do another video at your lagoon. I think that'd be really
Sounds
fun.
good.
So be on the lookout with your emails, and I'll email you when we're getting close. And Mindy says, Journey, I'm the cruise whisperer. I talked Jeff into going. He did. I mean, seriously, 35 years of begging. I didn't just ask, I would beg him and he said no. And it was so funny that year. He's like, all right, you can go, but I'm not going with you. You have to go with a girlfriend, but I'll pay for you to go as long as I don't have to go with you. And then he went. Oh my gosh. And Grant says, that's right. Mindy is the cruise whisperer. So Shorty, thank you, Michele. I enjoyed this live so much. Oh, good.
Oh, thank you.
And Journey, and she says, Angie says, Mindy, that'd be great. I'll let you know when the time comes. Seriously, because Jeff isn't the first one, or maybe he was the first one, but she's talked other people into it too. She is really good at that. All right, let's see who our top fans are tonight who get to wear the crown. Third place, Angie, Journey of Life. Yay, you get to wear a crown. And Claudia, yay. And Grant, woohoo. All right, everyone. Hold, oh, wait. Before I say hold on to your anchor moments, there was one more slide. Where's, do the slide thing.
Like that.
Okay. There's one more slide I wanted to show real quick. We have Michele to thank. She is the one who told me that our next book should be Food Intelligence. And we're 11 chapters into it now for our weight loss book club on Sundays. And we're almost done. We just have 2 weeks left, chapter 12 and 13. And our next book, Michele told me there's a new book coming out, Weightless, and it sounds really good. And it's from an obesity doctor who is an endocrinologist as well. And this book is a really good guide for all of us who are taking a GLP-1. And I just started reading chapter 1 today to get a brief look at, and it's really interesting. I think this is going to be a good next book for us for book club. So thank you so much, Michele.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, everybody. Oh, and if you want to know how to find it, can you put the quick? Just go to our Amazon favorites page. We've got some different playlists, and one of them has the different books on it. And you can find it there. So you'll be all ready for Sunday afternoons for our weight loss book club. All right, everybody. Thanks again so much, Michele. Hold on to your anchor moments and make it a great day.